So in one of my videos, I don't remember exactly which one, I said something, and a lot of people, they were upset, and they were actually asking me, why am I saying the things that I'm saying? If you're curious as to what I said, well, basically I said that Zoro is probably top 4 in the alliance, and I included Kid as well. People are saying, well, Kid isn't part of the alliance. I get that, but I was just saying people that are going to fight against Kaido. People then asked, well, why aren't you including Drake and Hawkins? Well, I don't know for a fact that Drake and Hawkins are going to fight against Kaido. I know for a fact that Kid is going to fight against Kaido, because Kid, he has a grudge against Kaido. For Drake, he went and sought out Kaido. For Hawkins, we know he plays probabilities. We're not sure what Luffy's probability is going to be a month from now, like Hawkins predicted. Well, he said 19%, but we don't know if that's going to change to Hawkins' favor. So right now, I'm okay with Kid, or saying Kid is part of the alliance, or at least one of the individuals to fight Kaido. Now, why is Zoro 4th or 5th? That's interesting, because the Enma sword kind of changes things a little bit, because we expect once Zoro masters Enma, it's going to be a scary sight to behold. So I'm not even sure if I still feel the same way about Zoro by the time they fight Kaido, or actually currently as to whether he's 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. I'm still working on my Luffy versus Zoro as far as the gap between them, and that should be out this week before the chapter drops, so wait on that. But for right now, let's rank the strongest members of the alliance. I think we're going to do top 5 for now, but before I get into the top 5, let's list some honorable mentions. For Kiku, we're not sure exactly how strong she is. We know she is pretty formidable, and we're not sure exactly how formidable she is when she, I guess, transforms. So for right now, I'm not sure exactly where to scale her, but I'm going to scale her lower than the top fighters. Kinemon, we know in the past was very strong, and Shutenmaru alluded to him being possibly stronger than him back then, but we know 20 years has passed, and we know a lot of people have surpassed Kinemon by now, so we cannot put him in the top 5 or even the top 6. Tanjiro, trash. I pondered hard about Nekomamushi and Inarashi, because those guys, they fought against a commander like Jack for how many days, but the thing is, they were switching in and out, and they still could not overcome Jack. So how can I put these guys at top 5? How can they land anything? Well, I mean, we can factor in their Sulong transformation as well, because they said they weren't at their full strength, but that's so situational. It's hard to use that as a gauge and say that because you have a Sulong form, I'm automatically going to put you above other characters. That's like saying for Jinbe, he has a significant advantage in water, but I'm not going to rank him higher than characters that have devil fruits because he can beat them in water. So for Nekomamushi and Inarashi, unfortunately, I can't rank them in the top 5 or top 6, because for one, switching in and out could not take down a commander, and also they've lost limbs, so I don't expect them to be as strong as they were back then, so that brings them down slightly. There's no need to mention Brook, Nami, Robin, Chopper, and even Frankie, because we know they can't hang with the monster trio at all. So with that being said, the other characters, I feel like at least they have a chance of being ranked based on what we've seen so far. So let's get into the top 5, or let's get into the top 6. Quickly, I'm also leaving out Killer because I'm not sure exactly what to do with him. We saw him engage in battle with Zoro for a bit, but based on what he showed, it wasn't that impressive, and we know he was not in his right mind. So how do you really scale a character like that? I expected a lot more from Killer, or Commas, or whatever the hell you want to call him, but again, he was a bit out of it, so it's hard to even scale him. So I'm not going to include him in this list right now. Maybe after we see more later down, I might do another ranking at the end of Wano, or ranking everyone that was in the alliance based on what they showed. But now it's somewhat predictive based on what they showed so far, and we're going to go from there. And guys, this is based on where I think these characters are currently, so some of them may be stronger by the end of the arc, but for right now, based on what they've shown and based on what we see from them and based on what we anticipate, where are they and how do we scale them? So for number 6, or I guess it's a tie for 5, we got Zoro and Sanji. And now people are going to be upset because I put Zoro and Sanji on the same level, but guys, just hear me out. Currently, both characters have gotten a power up in Wano. We know Zoro has gotten Enma and he's still trying to control Enma, but Sanji has the raid suit and he hasn't used Diablo Jambi or Hell's Memories with his raid suit, so we know there's another level that Sanji can get to. I get it, throughout the time skip, Sanji has not been portrayed on the level of Zoro, but let's walk through this really quickly. Let's say Zoro was slightly stronger post time skip based on feats and everything that's been portrayed. Sanji has the raid suit, and I think he has better control over the raid suit than Zoro has over Enma right now. So based on where Sanji is, he has more durability, he's faster. So with his boosters, he has more power because inherently he is faster. And I mentioned his durability, so that's going to improve his defense overall. So I think that boosts him up to Zoro's level, because I do think Zoro is slightly stronger, or portrayed stronger in the story, whereas if Zoro and Sanji were to have a fight, it was going to be high diff anyway. But based on story portrayal, I can see why people feel like Zoro is stronger. But right now with Sanji in the raid suit, I have to bump him up. Of course, people are going to say, well, Brago, you made a video previously saying that Sanji did not get stronger with the raid suit. That's me playing devil's advocate and looking at things from a technical standpoint based on what powers up Sanji, based on how he is as a character. But if you look at it as a one-to-one power up, he should be a formidable opponent for Zoro based on the things that it enhances. Now for Zoro with Enma, we have to wait and see exactly how strong he gets, because getting Enma is not a direct power up because he has to master it. Think of it as Luffy getting Gear 4th for the first time. It takes a while for him to actually control Gear 4th because of the amount of haki it's using, so it's going to take a while for Zoro to use Enma and maintain that balance between giving haki or Ryo to his sword and maintaining it for himself. So that's the reason why I'm justifying Sanji and Zoro being at 5 right now. Again, as the story goes on, this could actually change because I know I play the Sanji Zoro bias thing from time to time, but for ranking I try to be as fair as possible. In this moment I think it's fair to put Sanji and Zoro on the same level based on where they are with their power-ups. So guys, just please understand what I'm saying with that. Number 4, we have Shutenmaru. Now I know people are going to say, well, how do you put Shutenmaru over Zoro and Sanji? Well, first off, we've seen actual feats that Shutenmaru has done that shows that Shutenmaru is definitely on commander level. Now there's non-canon things we can reference for Zoro and Sanji, or even we can go back to Dressrosa with Zoro send back Fujitora. It's honestly not enough for us to definitively say that Zoro is commander level. Well, I think he is, but we have to wait and see exactly what he shows. First of all, the strongest opponent that Zoro has actually had a fight with post-time skip is Pika, and no one is putting Pika on commander level. Shutenmaru actually got a slash in on Jack who Inarashi and Nakamushi could not even defeat. They literally left no notable scratches on Jack, and Shutenmaru just with a quick encounter was able to slash Jack casually. That is very impressive, and we have to go back to the lineage of Shutenmaru as well, or if you want to call him Ashura Doji. He was the strongest samurai in Kuri, and that's where Oden had to go to liberate, and that was the place where it was outlawed. Even the shogun said, you know, Kuri was somewhere that we don't want anything to do with, and Shutenmaru rose above the rest as the strongest samurai there, well, until Oden showed up, and we know what a monster he was. Another thing is that Shutenmaru engaged with Kaido, and he's actually still alive. I know it was speculation for a while saying that Shutenmaru probably scarred Kaido, and it wasn't that crazy to think about based on what he did to Jack. And the fact that he engaged with Kaido, of course he was with Denjiro, I believe, that is hella impressive. So for me right now, I'm comfortable putting Shutenmaru at 4. As the arc progresses, I expect Sanji and Zoro to surpass him, but for right now, based on what we've seen, Shutenmaru is 4 for me. Number 3, we have Law. Now Law, it's a lot to get into with Law's powers because we know how versatile Law is. We know how OP Law can be with his OP no Mi, and it's something I really wanted to dispel is the fact that people said Law has stamina issues. Okay, I get it, that at some point Law was saying that he was using his Devil Fruit past its capability, but Law had been fighting all freaking day, evading Admirals, evading Doflamingo, assisting the Straw Hats, assisting Luffy. He had a room that was so big that Doflamingo could not even see it, and you're still saying he has stamina issues? No, he has Straw Hat issues, and for him, if he did not go all out the way he did, a lot of the Straw Hats would actually be dead right now. So it's not that Law had stamina issues. Law had to continuously exert himself to not only help Luffy versus Doflamingo, because Luffy was dead to rights several times versus Doflamingo, because Red Hawk and Gamma Knife, without those, I'm not sure if Luffy's getting out of there alive, and of course protecting the other Straw Hats, and not to mention he got shot several times with lead bullets. I really don't understand this, and we know Law's arsenal from Radio Knife, Gamma Knife, Injection Shot, Counter Shock, the list goes on and on based on what Law can do, and a lot of people are talking about Zoro being stronger than Law right now. I'm not mad either way because I can understand why people can say Zoro is going to be a monster by the time the arc ends, or even right now, but for me, I'm comfortably okay with saying that Law is currently over Zoro. Number 2, obviously here we have Kid. There's no way I can justify putting Kid over Luffy based on the fact that Luffy has done so much and progressed so much. I can't justify that. Now for me, I'm comfortable putting Kid at 2 just based off portrayal. Mostly what we have to go off of is portrayal and story direction, in which Kid pre-time skip, you know, him and Luffy used the same attack or a similar attack in the vein of Gear 3rd. Luffy became smaller and nothing happened to Kid. And again, we can even go back to Udon, in which Kid was lifting all these things with one arm while Luffy was lifting it with 2. So physically, Kid isn't giving up anything. Now, Devil Fruit Mastery, for me personally, I think that Kid should have a better Devil Fruit Mastery than Luffy, because over the time skip, he had to figure it out using his Devil Fruit, while Luffy, he had specific training with Haki and all these different things. So Kid, to even be alive right now, had to be overly dependent on his Devil Fruit, and not to mention his arm, he's keeping that active using his Devil Fruit. So while I'm not putting him over Luffy, I think he's the one character in the alliance, maybe the end game of Zoro and maybe Sanji, to be on Luffy's level currently. But there's no way I'm justifying putting Kid over Luffy. So number 1 obviously is Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy was already a monster coming to Wano. At this point, he's learning Ryo and learning to combine King Kong Gun with the Palm Strike. He's learning the actual flow of Haki. So once he combines that with his actual techniques, Luffy is going to be a freaking monster. Let's not even talk about the future sight he learned while fighting Katakuri, and that's continuously growing. The unbelievable stamina, the overwhelming will. Luffy by the end of the Wano arc is going to be so destructive that you're going to have to respect Luffy as a close to Admiral level character, if not Admiral level. Like, I understand that Luffy is going to grow leaps and bounds, but I think he's going to be right on the cusp of Admiral level, or where an Admiral is not going to be able to coast with someone like Luffy. Again, the stamina issues could be an issue. We don't know if he's completely eradicated the time limit of Gear 4 forth as yet, but we know for a fact that Monkey D. Luffy, first of all, his bounty is going to go crazy after Wano, but the strength he's going to hold after that Zenkai boost versus Kaido, holy Jesus, I really can't wait to see. But guys, let me know your top 6 or top 5 strongest people in the alliance. Those are my current rankings. After the next chapter, it could change because I expect a fire chapter. That's One Piece 956. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. This is just a fun video ranking these characters really quickly. If you enjoyed this video though, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, if you would like more rankings in the future, let me know if you enjoyed it, because that helps a lot. Because if you guys like this content, I'm going to create more content like this. Shout out to my patrons as well. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.